Meeting is Monday, July 20th, 2026 at 7 p.m. This is meeting number 5348. Would the clerk please call roll?
Mayor Daniel Pogue,
Here.
Commissioner Jeff Reiner,
Here.
Commissioner Chuck Taylor,
Here.
Commissioner Rick Sowers,
Here.
Commissioner Michael Burns, absent.
Seeing no one for invocation, we will move to the Pledge of Allegiance. Will you please rise with me? Pledge allegiance to the flag. At this time, I would seek a motion for approval of the agenda, or if any commissioner would like to remove anything.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. At this time, under petitions and proclamations, we have the National Day of Cowboy Proclamation. I think Megan with the CVB is going to present on that, please.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. Megan Welsh with the Dodge City Convention and Visitors Bureau for the National Day of the Cowboy Proclamation. Whereas pioneering men and women recognized as cowboys established the American West, and whereas that cowboy spirit continues to infuse this country with its solid character, sound family values, and good common sense, and whereas the cowboy embodies honest, integrity, courage, compassion, respect, strong work ethic, and patriotism. And whereas approximately 800,000 ranchers are conducting business in all 50 states and are contributing to the economic well-being of nearly every county in the nation, making the cowboy an excellent steward of its land, of the land and its creatures. And whereas the cowboy is an American icon, cowboy traditions have long been part of the American landscape and culture, and today's cowboys and cowgirls continue to strive to preserve and perpetuate this unique element of the American heritage. And whereas to recognize the American cowboy is to acknowledge the ongoing commitment to the United States to an esteemed and enduring code of conduct. And whereas the ongoing contributions made by cowboys to their communities should be recognized and encouraged.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that Dodge City and Ford County supports the Senate of the United States in their quest to designate and celebrate the fourth Saturday in July each year, and this year designates July 25th, 2026 as National Day of the Cowboy. Be it further resolved that the Convention and Visitors Bureau will hold a mustache contest and celebration on July 25th from 1 p.m. to 1:45 p.m. during the Dodge City Days Party in the Park in observance of National Day of the Cowboy, and encourages the people of Dodge City, Ford County, and the United States to observe the day with appropriate ceremonies and activities. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand this 20th day of July 2026.
Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. Next up, we have the visitors section. A limit of 5 minutes per individual, 15 minutes per topic. Final action may be deferred until the next city commission meeting unless an emergency situation does exist. On our visitors section tonight, we have Caden Miller.
Good evening, City Commissioners. My name is Caden Miller. I spoke at the last meeting earlier this month about the concerns with flock cameras being placed around our city. I'm here tonight to see if there's been any decisions made on the cancellation of any contracts with flock safety and the removal of all AI-powered automatic license plate readers in the community. I do hope the City Commission has taken it upon themselves to look into the real impact and story behind flock safety and their partnerships with ICE and Palantir. We as a community should not be a part of this mass surveillance system created by billionaires. I've spoke to some folks that are involved in law enforcement, and they seem to act like that they haven't been able to solve crimes before this. I understand that they do assist law enforcement with certain tasks, but I believe, and many other people believe, that it will never make up for the abuse that's been committed and the potential abuse that's coming. For example, Sedgwick County Police Chief Lee Nygaard admitted to tracking his ex-girlfriend's car 164 times, as well as her new boyfriend. Keshi Police Lieutenant Victor Heyer pleaded guilty for stalking and computer crimes after using Flock to track his estranged wife's daily movements. Canyon Ashworth of Lenexa, he wrote an article about the Lenexa police and their relationship with ICE. He criticized them and called them out, using his right of free speech. After that, the Lenexa Police Department decided to begin investigating him. They started tracking his location, pulling him over for no reason, just because they wanted to target him because of his opinions on them. What regulations are in place, or what regulations could be in place to prevent this from happening here? Because just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. That's all I have to say tonight. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. We have no other visitors in the visitor section, so at this time, I will move to the consent calendar. Look for approval, or if want to remove any items from the consent calendar.
Your Honor, I move to approve the consent calendar as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, raise your right hand. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. Next up, under ordinances and resolutions, resolution number 2026-16, a resolution of the City of Dodge City, Kansas, approving the execution and delivery of the First Amendment to the New West Hospitality Development Agreement relating to extending the due diligence period of the New West Development Agreement. Report by City Attorney Paige Gilmore.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. Yes, this is just an agreement to extend the due diligence period on the New West Hotel development for 60 days. So it will, I can't remember if I put the date in here. I think September date is the new expiration of the due diligence period. And then this will also push back our closing deadlines as well. So we'll have just as much time as we did under the previous version of the agreement. No other amendments are made to the existing agreement that was passed on April 20th, 2026. This agreement was drafted by our counsel with Stinson, and it has, I believe, already been reviewed by the other party as well. So if you have any other questions, I'd be happy to try to answer those.
Are there any questions from Paige or for Paige?
What's that do to Star Bonds? Anything?
Nothing.
We feel pretty confident about AT&T and Verizon, and
Yeah, we've had conversations with both. AT&T's looking at relocating their tower equipment. Verizon's looking at moving it off the 5th floor and putting it onto the roof, and then running their electrics on the outside. So both of them are in the process of getting it done. So
any other questions for Nick or Paige?
At the end of the 90 days, where do you feel we'll be at?
do it now.
At the end of the extension, where do you feel we'll be at?
I think everything's still pretty positive. I'm not too concerned about anything. It's just there was another issue that wasn't really brought up. So it was MEP was part of it, AT&T, but the third part was they let their legal counsel go, and so they're in the process of finding new legal counsel, and that attributed to them not meeting that time frame. But that was the biggest piece of it.
Your Honor, I make a motion to approve resolution number 26-16.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Not all in favor, raise your right hand. Those opposed, same sign. The motion carries 4-0. Thank you, Paige. We have no unfinished business. First, under new business, is the approval of a plat for Dodge City Business Park, Unit 2, report by Nathan Littrell, Planning and Zoning Administrator.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Tonight I ask for your consideration of Dodge City Business Park Unit 2 replat. The city's proposing to reconfigure this undeveloped lots of the Dodge City Business Park. The proposed lots are larger than the existing ones and will be a little bit more uniform than the current lots. The area replatted will go from comprising 25 lots to 17 lots, ranging from 3.2 acres to about 11 acres in size. The rights-of-way for streets will be reconfigured as well as a new infrastructure layout. This plat does meet the city's zoning and subdivision regulations and is in agreement with the city's comprehensive plan. And on July 7th, 2026, the Planning Commission reviewed and voted 5-0 to recommend approval of this plat. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
What was the driving force of replatting this?
Basically, I think to make it a little bit more marketable, some of
who?
the undeveloped
By us?
lots. That was my understanding.
Yeah, the reason we had it, all of them were wedges previously, and those are not very desirable lots when you have them in wedges. So we wanted to reconfigure it so the traffic pattern made it where it was more conducive to square, rectangular type lots, which would be more marketable for most folks.
Yeah. And it gets rid of the cul-de-sacs, which in a industrial development is not necessarily ideal for access for trucks, emergency services and stuff like that, so.
I just might have a request, and just as a visual person, if you like include the Google Earth map like you do on the other ones in this one, or, you know, just,
Yeah, I thought there was one on there. I'm not sure if it didn't get included, but must have been missed. But yeah, I thought I had sent that to comment. I generally try to.
I hear you. It's just hard to, you know, use your vicinity map and then follow along with what you want to do, so.
Sure.
I guess on lots 3 and 2, I guess, was there a reason not combining those, I guess? Because most of them are 8 or 5. I know that's kind of a odd shape, and then I didn't know if there was a reason on that one. Just not making, 3 and 2 one lot. It's kind of something I overlooked till.
Yeah, I noticed that well. Mayor, I'm not sure what the reasoning was for leaving those, because those were the original platted lots and leaving those as is. Do you know
I don't know.
why? Okay.
They could always be sold as one, though. And
Yeah.
Correct.
Any other questions for Nathan?
you want to make a motion that we adopt the plat for the business, Dodge City Business Park, Unit 2.
1 second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. Up next, we have approval of plat for Iron Flats Phase 2. Report by Nathan Litchell, Planning and Zoning Administrator.
All right. And for this, I'm bringing you the Iron Flats Phase 2 plat. The applicant's proposing to develop this undeveloped property for residential single-family use. This plat consists of 21 lots ranging from about 11,000 to 20,000 square feet in size. The plat does meet the city's zoning and subdivision regulations and is consistent with the comprehensive plan. This proposed development is an extension of the current residential development located to the south. And on July 7, 2026, Planning Commission reviewed and voted 5-0 to recommend approval of this plat. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those. And on this one, I did include an aerial.
Yeah, thank you.
Will this be an RHID program at some point in time?
Yes, it'll be part of the RHID, and when we're also looking at extending Briar Way all the way out to 14th Avenue as part of that RHID.
And the average home price in this, has it even got to that point yet? I mean, I don't know what 11,000 square foot lot versus 20, is that a fairly significantly
I
expensive house?
can't tell you right offhand what these are selling for currently.
Yeah, I have not had any conversations with the developer about potential prices on the homes yet.
They are on the larger side of what he has been doing, though. Especially, obviously, 20,000 is getting up there inside, it's almost a half acre, but most of them are about 10, or about 11 to 12, 13,000, which is typically what he's been doing for his about 1,500 square foot homes.
And do you think when we get to a zoning point, are these gonna be, because of the size of the lot, are these gonna be typically like R2, R3, or are they gonna be R1?
The developer's always had a favored R1 designation for all of his developments, so I anticipate being R1. on this.
R1s, okay.
Yeah, he hasn't had any discussion of making them duplexes or
Okay.
anything but single family.
Is there a limit on RHIDs that you can apply for?
As long as you're paying them off, I think that's one of the things. I think when we get to the point where we feel the market is saturated, that's why we do the housing study every couple of years, just to make sure that we're not overbuilding in certain sectors. At some point, there may be a time where we would back off on certain types of homes and concentrate more in other areas, but we haven't hit that as of our most recent housing study.
Should be doing a new one next year, probably.
I believe it's
think
next year,
27.
because we did a total comprehensive one last year, I believe it was approved.
That's not optional, right? That's mandatory under RHID?
Yes.
Mm.
How do we compare to other communities in southwest Kansas as far as our usage of the RHID?
As far as the usage goes, I know that Garden City's starting to use it, Liberal does use it, and they just started using it. Hayes, I think, just had their first RHID.
First or second one, yeah.
But
We've been doing it for quite some time, right?
Yes. Dodge City was definitely on the leading edge of using the RHIDs. Yeah, because, I mean, some of ours go back 12 to 15 years. So, Charisse Teben, at that time, she was very instrumental in working with the state to make it to where Dodge fit with the requirements of the RHIDs.
we wouldn't have nearly the homes that we have today without the program.
It's a good program, I think.
A lot of it come back to the housing studies that we do and showing the
Yes.
shortages that we have year after year. So,
As long as there shows that there's a shortfall in certain areas, then it justifies the RHIDs, and as long as people are buying the houses, and we have houses selling, it seems to work.
Your Honor, I'd move to approve the plat for Iron Flats Phase 2.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Further discussion? Not all in favor, raise your right hand. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. Thank you.
thank you, Mayor and Commissioners.
Next up is the approval of agreement for professional services for the underpass road improvements, part of Trail Street construction project. Report by Ray Slattery, city engineer.
Mayor and Commissioners, tonight I'm asking your approval for the agreement for professional services with Olson in the amount of $133,061 for the Trail Street drainage improvements along underpass, pending approval from the city attorney. Last month, the city experienced a water line break along the underpass road. The water from this break was able to push a hole through the corrugated metal pipe, or the CMP, used to carry drainage from the railroad underpass to the reinforced concrete box under Trail Street. The water is able to do this because this CMP is starting to fail, or its lifespan is being cut short. Shortly after the break was repaired and after a rain event, a sinkhole developed near one of the drives into National Beef due to the condition of the CMP. City crews repaired the pipe and the sinkhole. Staff reached out to Olson to design the drainage structure or structures, since it ties into the Trail Street project. Olson already has quite a bit of the survey data along Underpass Road from the Trail Street project. Part of the drainage along the Underpass Road is an open ditch, which continues to has erosion issues even after several attempts to regrade the ditch and to stabilize it. This makes maintaining that open ditch very difficult. The remainder of the drainage is conveyed by two CMP pipes. National Beef is also looking to expand their parking on the west side of their facilities. To accomplish this, the open ditch will need to be filled and the drainage conveyed by means of a drainage structure. In discussions with National Beef, it is anticipated that they will be partnering with the city on the cost of the construction of any drainage improvements. As part of this design, Olson will also be evaluating the use of a detention pond on the north sides of the tracks to limit the amount of water that will flow through the underground drainage structures. It is the hope that the amount of flow can be reduced such that the structure or a pipe can be installed to carry this drainage up to a certain size of storm event. This will minimize the amount of water that will be collected in the underpass and will improve safety. However, in a large rain event, the excess flow from or runoff from that event would continue to flow through the underpass as it currently does. Funding for this will come from the bond for the Trail Street project. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Only one I'd have, Ray. Have we ever considered straightening out Underpass Road?
We've actually considered flopping the curve and going around the west side of the veterinary clinic. Years ago, when National Beef was looking for additional parking in some manner along the property, but that's the only thing that we've ever been considered.
Not feasible today or too much?
We still got to deal with the drainage, that we could have an easement. It would cost, we'd have to rebuild the whole new underpass, where right now we're just looking to redo the drainage. So it'd be more expensive. We'd have to buy property and move forward from there.
Thank you.
If National does put parking in there, we'll have to do some work with underpass, won't we, at that point? Or
Underpass Road, no.
no?
There's they actually, their fence isn't all the way to their right-of-way line in places because of the open ditch and some of the drainage structures.
Okay.
Is there any code for that ditch and how deep it is and how close the road is to that ditch?
It is a safety concern, yes, and that's another benefit for putting the drainage underground and filling the ditch.
Is that okay?
Would help with the safety of the underpass road itself.
Any other questions for Ray or any action on this item?
Your Honor, I make a motion to approve the agreement for the professional services with Olson in the amount of $133,061, pending approval from the city attorney.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, raise your right hand. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. Thank you, Ray. Next up is approval of the Kansas Department of Transportation agreement for the improvements of U.S. Highway 50 and 14th Avenue intersection. Report by Ray Slattery, City Engineer.
Mayor and Commissioners, tonight I'm asking you to approve the agreement with the Kansas Department of Transportation, or KDOT, to receive financial assistance in the amount of $1.5 million to construct improvements at the 14th and US 50 highway intersection. In March of last year, the city submitted a GI, or Geometric Improvement Application, to KDOT under the City Connecting Link Improvement Program, or CCLIP. The project consists of improvements at the intersection that were recommended with the high school area transportation study that has been done in the past. This is also the same study that recommended the second access point to the high school. We sent in an application. KDOT selected our project for the program, and there's no financial considerations or funding stipulated with just signing the agreement. That won't come until after the approval of or when we receive bids. So at this time, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Ray on this item? Any action on it?
Your Honor, I'd move to approve the agreement with KDOT to receive financial assistance in the amount of $1.5 million in construct improvements to 14th and US 50 intersection.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Not all in favor, raise your right hand. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. And last up is the approval of consulting service agreement for Iron Flats Phase 2 plating and infrastructure design. Report by Ray Slattery, city engineer.
Mayor and Commissioners, tonight I'm asking your approval of the consulting service agreement with SMH Consultants PA in the amount of $99,950 for the Iron Flats Phase 2 development pending review by the city attorney. Vols Builders is nearing completion of the Iron Flats Phase 1 development in the northern part of the city. Vols Builders owns additional property adjacent to Phase 1 and wants to develop an additional 21 lots along Horsetail Trail and Lonesome Trail. City staff has started working with the developer and SMH Consultants to open up this area for housing using the RHID incentive program. SMH has worked with this developer on several past subdivision developments. SMH will provide all the necessary documentations for the plating, which was approved earlier in the meeting, and the infrastructure plans for the construction for this development. Funding for this will come from the future RHID. With that, I'd be happy to try to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Ray?
I want to make a motion, we approve the agreement with SMH Consultants in the amount of $96,950.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, raise your right hand. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank
Hey, Ray. Hey, Ray, while you're up. Hey, just like shortest, briefest possible, how's down south going?
It's going good. All the concrete repair has been finished. The liner is complete in the aerobic. It's all but complete in the anaerobic. They're actually going to be doing the vacuum testing on that liner. I think they said next week. Once that's complete, then we will start leak testing. We're actually, knock on wood, ahead of schedule that was projected for finalizing the project. So it's moving forward
Okay, thank
better
you.
than anticipated.
Let's not jinx ourselves.
Yes,
It's just moving along.
yes.
Already.
Yeah.
We have no other business. Staff reports, Nick?
I have really great news to share with the commission and the public. Starting this weekend, you'll be able to start booking flights, a new flight schedule, which will start December 17th officially is when the new flight schedule will take place, but an overnight aircraft is coming back. So our first flight out of Dodge City is going to be at 6:15 in the morning, and you arrive in Denver at 6:53. That flight will then turn around at 8 a.m. and fly back to Dodge and be back at 10:26 in the morning in Dodge. And then it'll leave it out of Dodge at 11:07 in the morning again, so you can get back to Denver by 11:45. So we'll have 2 flights to Denver before lunchtime. And then the third one is they'll actually, then the final flight of the day will be at 4:20 local time in Denver. And then it'll land in Dodge City at 6:36 and stay the night with us. And then we'll have the first flight the next morning. So that's going to be huge for us. Our biggest numbers we had was in those early morning flights. They're back. Having the late night flights going to help all those travelers that we've been missing out on. But that first early morning flights, our numbers are going to definitely start skyrocketing. And this was an email we received today. And it should be live this weekend to start scheduling December 17th on for that early morning flight, which is going to be huge for our community. Second thing, I just got back an hour ago now from Austin, Texas, and met with the developer, and we toured a couple different sites down in Texas of potential entertainment opportunities, and they went really well, both of them. One was a holographic zoo, which is an educational type place where you can kind of interact with animals, and it teaches you about them, which is really cool. But they also have it set up for like the solar system, and then the animals are like the Arctic and the jungle and Australia. They got a bunch of different areas which you can actually learn and see them, but they're holographs, so they actually like come at you, and you can like look underneath them and around them, and everyone can do that at the same time from different views, but see the same angle. It's impressive technology, but it's really high action type thing, so it keeps people moving. And then they had other separate rooms where you can get more one-on-one type interaction with different events. It was a really, really cool thing. And then we toured a facility that had indoor bowling, axe throwing, arcade, private rooms, absolutely amazing food and beverages, had a laser tag room in it. Their newer models also include putt-putt, indoor-outdoor putt-putt golf courses, and they also do other amenities. Some of them have indoor-outdoor pickleball courts with them, just kind of depends on what the community wants. Other ones have outdoor venue spaces for concerts, so they're flexible in what they can provide to the community. And so sitting down and listening to them and talking about our community and the need for youth and young entertainment, but not just all young, how we can get all age groups kind of in the same location, how we can get that accomplished, and that was one way. So it was a really impressive visit that we had. And so looking forward to seeing if we can't get those to get here to Dodge. But we'll be working on that. But with that, tomorrow evening is Victory Electric is having their forum. I will be in attendance. Michael Burns will be in attendance on behalf of the city, just to answer any questions and just talk a little bit about water usage and what our vision is with our large water users and how we treat all those users. But outside that, that's all I have.
Nicole?
Excuse me. Just continuing to work on the budget. So the two commission meetings in August, we will have work sessions prior to those to get a little bit more in depth in the budget. So that's all I have.
Nothing for me.
Melissa? Connie? At this time, I'd seek a motion for adjournment unless any commissioner has anything else.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Those opposed, same sign. We're adjourned. Thank you.